Microphone, they'll hear me chewing these grapes. Welcome everyone. It's a grape eating contest. This is a grape. Looks like a gulab jamun, doesn't it? This is a Portuguese grape. I'm getting ready for the program. And my doctor told me to eat grapes every afternoon. So that's what I'm doing. Could we make this lower? Is that possible?
It's on the lowest.
It's on the lowest?
Just
Oh, really?
more than that. Unless you raise, you put pillow on the.
It's okay.
It's on the lowest bracket already.
It's okay. Somebody there?
Yeah.
You have a napkin with water?
Napkin?
Serviette? For my hands? We're getting ready to begin. Don't go away. Class begins with grape eating contest. I have been instructed to eat grapes every day in the afternoon. So
No, that's not. That's some tourists.
don't know what the topic is yet. We're waiting for Krishna to reveal what the topic is.
Frankie?
Yeah. If you out in Facebook land are thinking of a topic, you could suggest it. Or if you have a question, you can suggest it and we consider it. As you know, sometimes I just take questions. I have a very big harmonium. You should always wash your hands after you eat. If you're a Brahmin. If you're not a Brahmin, don't worry about it.
These are your disciples? Yeah?
Maybe. Hare Krishna, Angelina. And not everyone's name comes up.
But the link is from your disciples.
You're supposed to have advertised it, yeah. So we don't have a harmonium, but we'll do our best with what we have. Close enough, right? What was that?
Telephone.
Someone's.
Yeah, there's a devotee.
Gopijana Manava Girivardhari Gopijana Manava Girivardhari Yashodanandana Bhajajananjana Yashodanandana Bhajajananjana Surdhanandana Bhajajananjana Jasodanandana Bhajajananjana Jamanatira Vanachari Jamanatira Vanachari Jamanatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Go Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Shodhanandana Raja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hey Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Gauranga Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Gauranga. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Sai Go Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shandivadi Paschatastani Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, here I am, live and in color, for the first time ever. Happy to be here. Hare Krishna. Do you have to translate? No.
But let's see, rounds number 7. What do you say?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
По-русски.
А вы понимаете по-английски?
Лучше на португальском.
So they can
Portuguese. Yeah. Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
No entiendo nada. Español solamente. So you want? I'll give you the.
Oh.
For the devotees on Facebook, they can learn Portuguese. It goes like this under your shirt.
So in case if everyone understands English and they don't understand Russian, we can go to the backside and I can translate.
Yeah.
If it's needed, I can do that.
Say that in Russian.
Если вы хотите, то я могу переводить английский там на русский, но тогда сзади нужно будет сесть, чтобы никому не мешать.
Хорошо.
Хорошо? Начнем.
Хорошо. Спасибо. Okay.
Nikunj and João, you come inside. So they
You're
can
not going to
be-
get to learn.
They can be
Portuguese.
Right, near. You come inside.
You speak Portuguese? How long have you been here?
6 years now.
6 years.
Нога болит.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear from here?
You like it?
Marisa.
Nice place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live here, kind of thing.
Because they won't be able to hear us here. We can't hear anything from here.
We had a good time in Amsterdam, in Holland.
They can sit there.
Last week, huh?
Make a noise.
Just come more close. More close.
In 2 weeks they go to Toshina.
Oh.
I will not be able to.
This year I stay home.
You can hear me? Haribo!
If I will not hear you, then we will come closer.
You could sit there and face.
We will disturb you.
No. If you sit there and face that way, you won't.
I need to see your mouth now.
Oh, okay.
Just come closer.
So you could sit sideways. Look at me. Look at
Come
you.
closer. Come bring your chairs inside.
We have a question here. I was asking for a
Yeah, like that. So you come there. Yeah. That will not disturb. Okay, good.
Okay, we have a little esoteric question. I don't know if it's appropriate. You have it? Why don't you introduce me to everyone? I don't know everyone.
Okay.
I mean, I know most of the devotees.
This princess, I don't know the name.
Introduce yourself, Jaya.
Jaya.
Huh?
Jaya.
Jaya. Okay.
What's her name?
Jaya Dayani.
Jaya.
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 Jaya Dayani.
Jaya. Jaya. More short Jaya.
Jaya Dayani. Jaya.
She said Jaya.
J-E or J-E-Y?
G-A-Y-A.
Yeah, Jaya.
G-E. G-A or G?
Jaya.
Like Jaya.
Oh, Jai.
Like Jai, it's from Jai, but it's Jaya.
Jaya. Jaya.
Jaya. With a
But we just call her what? Jai? Jai?
Jaya.
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 Jaya. Jaya.
She
Nice.
said it right from the first time. Jaya.
Jaya. How many languages do you speak, Jaya? Which?
Four.
English, Portuguese, Russian, and Dutch.
Wow. Well done.
If you speak 2 languages, you're called bilingual. You speak 3 languages, you're trilingual. And if you're 4 languages, you're what? Quadlingual. And if you speak 1 language, you're called American. So I only speak 1.
But she speaks English with an American accent.
Really? Why? You learned in American school?
It's from cartoons.
Oh. Can you speak English for us? You say something like, I'm...
Hello.
Can you say, I'm happy to be here with all of you?
It's too much pressure.
Okay, so...
Marisa,
Marisa.
I spoke to you about.
Yeah.
She lives in Algarve.
Yeah, nice.
She travels all the way to Lisbon.
Yeah, they told me.
Train from
Yeah, that's a good example. She's anxious to hear about Krishna. She travels 1 day to Lisbon and then back in the evening.
Same day. Yes.
Wow, to get sangha. Yeah, that's nice.
And they are the opposite. They come from Lisbon. Inara, you met them in the temple. Right?
I did.
You did, yeah.
They look just like the 2 devotees that were in Lisbon.
Rita, you already know. Catherine and her husband.
Boris.
Boris from Ukraine. Moldavia, sorry. From Moldavia. They are living in here. They're living here in Portimao for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Many, 20?
24.
Oh,
24.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
My name is Lila Dardas.
Lila Dar and Devi.
Debbie.
Debbie.
I'm not lucky yet.
Yeah, that's close to Devi. If you're in Bengal, if you go to Bengal, then your name, they'll all call you Devi.
Yes,
Devi.
here as well.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, I'm sorry, I don't know.
No problem. Chandrika, David.
Chandrika. The one came yesterday.
Yeah, I saw you.
Chandrika
Chandrika
and the
Kavita.
daughter, Jayashree.
Chandrika,
Jayashree.
the lotus of good, the benediction moon, the lotus of good fortune. And Jai Shri? Jai Shri Radhe. Hare.
It's the name of Srimati Radhika.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So we have someone suggesting something, but I don't know. Might be, I don't know, not appropriate. But who the devotee is asking, should we meditate on our relationship, who we are in the spiritual world? But how can you meditate on it if you don't know? So, yeah. You could desire, and there should be some qualification. Before Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, when you were initiated, you would be given your relationship and so many things, but it wasn't for sure that was your relationship. It was something to practice. But Bhaktisiddhanta didn't stop doing that because we weren't really qualified. But if at a point in your spiritual life, when it's clear, then you're advanced. That's natural, isn't it? I lived in Mayapur for many years, and I started feeling inclination towards a certain relationship with Krishna. But it wasn't Madhurya Rasa, and my wife almost kicked me out of the house. Because in our line, we aspire for that. But anyway, not always. Some of those who have Sakya say it's higher than Madhurya. They have their thinking. Anyway. Does anyone have something that they would like to speak about? That answers that question, right? When you're qualified. Usually more on the stage of asakti, that your relationship becomes more clear. But it's not wrong to aspire, but that's okay. But then to think prematurely, I have that relationship, could be problematic. I was thinking about this because the very thing that can help you can also hurt you. You know, like sometimes doctor gives you a medicine, but if you can't digest it, it can make you sick. So in Krishna consciousness, things which can purify us can also make us sick if we can't digest it. Right? So if one is trying to go too high, too fast, then the thing which would purify them, if they're not ready, they can't digest it. Then it hurts them. That's what Prabhupada said. Hare Krishna. Once a very young devotee asked Prabhupada about our Swarup. Like, what is our relationship with Krishna? And he was not qualified to ask. He was very young. He wasn't qualified. So Prabhupada said, your Swarup. Swarup means Swa means one's own, and Rupa means form. Your form. What is my form in the spiritual world? Prabhupada, I forget the question, but he was asking something about our Swarup. Prabhupada, he said, your Swarup is eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. He's trying to You can worry about your Swarup later after you overcome those. So, yeah. And then Prabhupada said, well, there's all kinds of medicine in the pharmacy, but it's not you just go in and, what's the most expensive medicine? I want that. You choose a medicine according to your qualification. So, what one may be qualified to understand another may not be qualified. So, yeah. Sometimes I think, when we think about, I like this form of Krishna, or I like to be in this relationship, it could be genuine, or it could be some material sentiment. You know. So, I don't know. Hare Krishna. There are different views on this topic. I did read a book on Sakya Ras. There's a village, I don't know the name, in India, and everyone in that village is in Sakya Ras. And that village promotes that Sakya Ras is higher than Madhurya. Have you ever heard that before? It's usually the other way, right? Anyway. But when I was a young devotee, Prabhupada said, well, it's like, if this is your rasa, then it's perfect for you. So, like we have Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta was Hanuman. So Lord Chaitanya played with him and said, you should think of Krishna, and he couldn't. Wasn't possible. So, we have a godbrother who joined the Sri Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya, they worship Krishna in a different way than we do, more reverentially. So maybe he was a Sri in his last life. It's hard to say, but he was attracted to that. So what to do? It's not bad. And what's also interesting is that when Prabhupada spoke to Christians, he didn't say, well, you're bogus because you worship God as the Father, and that's like, it's like, maybe you could call it Dasya-ras, or not even exactly we have that ras. You shouldn't worship God as the Father, you should worship God as the Son. He never said that. Interesting, I think. He never argued about that. Your rasa is not good enough for us. Shame on you. Right? But that's, God the Father. So in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, usually it's Madhurya Rasa and some Sakya. But Prabhupada said, any ras, whatever your inclination is. Hare Krishna. Now the next question is, what rasa was Prabhupada in? That's controversy. We won't talk. Prabhupada never told us. He didn't. Sometimes devotees would ask questions of Prabhupada and he didn't think they were appropriate. And he would say, why are you asking this question? That's Prabhupada's way of saying none of your business. So those kinds of questions he didn't entertain, he didn't tell us. So. And sometimes he would say, certain things he would say. Oh yeah, Prabhupada was speaking once with his godbrother, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, and Achyutananda Prabhu was there. He was living he had lived in his ashram for a while, because he was the first devotee to go to India, and this was 1967, I think. So Prabhupada said, you can stay in the ashram of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And then at one point Prabhupada came and they were talking, and after they were talking, I don't think Achyutananda Prabhu was there. I think they were talking in a separate room, and he came out and said, what were you talking about? And Prabhupada said, if I told you, you would faint. So, some things we're not qualified to understand. At least at that point, yeah. So anyway, that's all we're going to talk about this for now. We have a live studio audience here. Yeah. Now Radhavinoda is saying, why don't you talk about different ways of developing your relationship with Krishna? I didn't know there were different ways. The best way, one of the best ways is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Without offense. Yeah. Once Prabhupada was asked, how will we realize our relationship with Krishna? And Prabhupada said, I can reveal it to you, Krishna can reveal it to you. The holy name can reveal it to you. When I look at Prabhupada, I see someone who is more focused on fulfilling the order of his spiritual master than anything else. So we can follow that example. Because Krishna sends his guru to serve, I don't want to say practice, but it's like Krishna saying, serve guru like you would serve me. And it gives us an opportunity to make sacrifice for the pleasure of Guru, as we would for Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada set that example so clearly. And it's sitting in front of us, and we should just copy it. And that's how we're successful. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. That's how we're successful. I often say, when I was a young devotee, I didn't know much. Nobody in our movement knew much, materially or spiritually. And in a sense, we were safe because we didn't know much, because we didn't know enough to misunderstand. We didn't know enough to do anything wrong. It's like if you're learning something, and say, just do it like this, and you're like, okay. Isn't it? Like you're cooking, okay. Exactly a half teaspoon of salt, exactly 1 teaspoon of, And then when you know how to cook, you're just like, your eyes closed, you're throwing it. So when we were young, everything that Prabhupada said, we just hung on to because we didn't know how to cook. We don't know how to do anything, so we had to do it exactly. And we were very successful because we were just following that line, or the current that Prabhupada was giving. We got it and we just did it. So that's the secret. That's how you win the game.
One question.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is, not sometimes, there is a mission, the goal. Let's say the goal of Krishna consciousness is to develop love of God. But then there's a mission.
Yeah.
So, for Srila Prabhupada or for a spiritual master, what is more important, the goal or the mission?
Well, what I saw with Srila Prabhupada, he didn't make those distinctions the way we do. He didn't really... You can't have a mission if you don't develop attachment for Krishna, because what kind of mission will you have? You know, what will you spread? So, Prabhupada never saw them as separate. We saw them as separate. That was our problem. Because it's easier to do something than to be something. Isn't it? Like I can just go out and do something. But can I do it with the consciousness of a pure Vaishnava, with the acting, trying to manifest 26 qualities of a devotee? That's difficult, much more difficult. So there's a story, it's a funny story. Brahmananda Maharaj was at our restaurant. We had a restaurant in San Diego, California. And when you go out the restaurant, the door's like here, and right here is a refrigerator with drinks. So when you're going out the door, he saw the drinks. And he said, can I have a drink? They said, yeah, what would you like, orange or lemon? And he said, I'll take both. And then he told the story. He said, he was in charge of somewhere, maybe it was Africa or something. And Prabhupada asked him to do another service. And he said, oh, does that mean that I should leave my service in Africa? And Prabhupada said, no, I didn't say that. You should do both. So it's like often Prabhupada would say, do this, and we think, oh, I don't have to chant my rounds now. Or I don't have to, I can stop hearing Bhagavatam, because he said, that's our, the Prabhupada never thought like that. I understand your question, because Prabhupada emphasized spreading Krishna consciousness. All Vaishnavas will emphasize, all Vaishnavas following in our disciplic line will emphasize that, because that's the mission of Mahaprabhu. So when Prabhupada emphasized spreading Krishna consciousness, it's easy to think he wasn't emphasizing, he was de-emphasizing, he's emphasizing spreading Krishna, so he's de-emphasizing sadhana. We think like that. But there's no evidence that he was doing that. Yeah. There's a story I was reading the last few days. And it was a big Janmashtami, maybe the first Janmashtami festival at the Bhaktivedanta Manor in the UK. And one devotee named Shama Sundar was working like crazy. He actually said he didn't sleep for 3 days. And I think he slept and he ended up sleeping 12 hours or 16 hours or something. And Prabhupada knew that he wasn't chanting any rounds. This was going on for months. And Prabhupada knew it. And devotees were telling Prabhupada, Shama Sundar is not chanting rounds. And sometimes Prabhupada would defend his disciples, who were working so hard and so sincere. And Prabhupada said, when Arjuna was fighting the battle of Kurukshetra, he wasn't chanting 16 rounds. So he was kind of protecting him from the devotees, who were maybe not happy with him. But after everything was established and install the deities and everything, it was like this was the first anything at Bhaktivedanta Manor, is they fixed everything up. So they got the house and they fixed it up. So he was going crazy, like just absolutely crazy, doing a million things. But afterwards, after he did that, Prabhupada sat him down and said, you have to take care of your sadhana. So he let it slide, occasionally with a few people. But it was temporary. And there was no indication that he ever validated permanently minimizing sadhana or any form of developing purity in the name of spreading Krishna consciousness, because it backfires. Because if you're not pure, what are you going to spread? What kind of bhakti are you going to spread? And we see that. So my thinking is, the most important thing you can do is be Krishna conscious if you want to make others Krishna conscious. Right? It's like, if you have a teacher, generally, if Leeladhar teaches Mridanga, he can only teach what he knows. And generally, if you're learning Mridanga from him, you can't be a better Mridanga player, generally, unless you learn from a better teacher. So the better we are, the better the people we teach become. The better we are as association, the better they become. So if we're all, let's spread Krishna consciousness, let's get out there, forget your japa, just go out, It doesn't make any sense, because we have to give sangha, we have to give association. And, what kind of association will you give? So, if we understand that, then we would never think, when Prabhupada's emphasizing spreading, he's not emphasizing being, because they go together. They have to go together. Sometimes devotees will say, I saw so-and-so, and it's immediately I wanted to surrender to Krishna, or something changed in my heart when I was in that association. Right? Because what's in the heart of that sadhu, it's like Krishna. So if I can have Krishna in my heart, then it's spreading Krishna consciousness is quite easy. My prayer to Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya said, if I have to come back, can I come back as a Mahabhagavad? Because then I can just walk down the street and everyone will start, Hare Krishna. It'll be easy, right? Because the Madhyam, the second class devotee, can convince people to chant, but the first class devotee, when you see him, you just start chanting. So anyone who met Prabhupada had that experience.
Something?
Yes.
How was it? Because certain moment Prabhupada went back to India, and I assume that you guys stayed behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also.
You mean at the end?
Yeah.
1977.
Yeah. And I was also reading Ainara book just now, and I was thinking, how was that for you when he left?
How was it for us when he left?
How did you maintain the taste to?
That was so bad that I, in my insanity, not that I was serious, but in my insanity, sometimes I would think, this is so painful, I wish I never met Prabhupada, because then I wouldn't experience this pain. It's a little more painful than maybe you losing your spiritual master, because Prabhupada was ISKCON. Your spiritual master is one of many. So ISKCON, your spiritual master leaves, it shakes up a little bit of ISKCON, not much, like a small earthquake. Prabhupada's was like a huge earthquake. So, most painful, most difficult. At the same time, he gave a mission. So then it's like this other thing is going on inside of you, the mission. I have to step up now. My guru's left. There's a big space that he was filling. So every time a great devotee leaves, they leave a space. So then we can all fill it, right? So both things are going on, the grieving and how will I go on, and how will anybody go on, how will anything go on. And we have to make it go on. One of the interesting things that happened when Prabhupada left was how much devotees misunderstood their level of advancement and how dependent we were on Prabhupada, to the point where we didn't even realize how much of our Krishna consciousness was coming from him. And one really interesting thing that happened is when Prabhupada left, it was so confusing and so difficult because we were so young. We were all in our 20s. And, you know, I had been a devotee 7.5 years. It's not a long time. And so a lot of devotees went to Sridhar Maharaj, just, you know, like, what do we do? What's going on? And he said, and this was just his experience, he said, from my experience, when your guru leaves, you will begin to question everything he said, not in the sense of a doubt, but question your own understanding. Like you realize you didn't his presence, it's like how do I say it? It's like you understood it because he understood it, and you really didn't understand it. It's like somebody telling you how to get somewhere, and then now you have to go on your own. And you think, oh, I've gone this way so many times, but that person was always telling you, and you didn't realize you weren't paying enough attention. So when Prabhupada's not there, it's like we thought we understood so many things, but
like
we started.
The first time you drive a car after you get your license.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't, or you know, we teach you how to go surf, and then you paddle out, and all of a sudden, the waves are 1 foot, and you get out there, and all of a sudden it's 6 feet, and you're like, how do I do this?
How do I answer questions?
Yeah. So, you know, I could do it, you know, or my surfing teacher was out there with me, I could do it. Now he's gone. He's on the beach, I'm all alone. It was like that. And it's exactly what Sridhar Maharaj said. Exactly that. So we were starting, you know, there's lots of controversy amongst devotees. What does this mean? What does that mean? And we realized that we didn't understand so much. So that was difficult. Very difficult. And I mean, it's just in the fact that you have one acharya. And if there's any controversy, he just sets it straight and the controversy's over. Because no one's going to argue with Prabhupada. Should there be women gurus? Shouldn't there be, you know, Jiva fall from, where did he fall? Did he fall at all? Where did he come from? You know, let's just go down the list. Prabhupada, it's like this. Women this, can they do this? Can they not do this? Just, Prabhupada would solve it. I'm like, okay. We all understood. But after Prabhupada left, people started questioning, well, did he really mean that? Or was that time, place, circumstance? Or he just said that to appease the women because they were all like, you know, they want to be the boss, and so he said, okay, you know, or whatever, you know. So it's hard. That's always going to be hard. And, you know, we have to mature to be able to realize that there'll be different ways of understanding something. Not always the same way for everyone. All I can say is this. Anyone who is still a Vaishnava, who lived through Prabhupada's disappearance, was like, you should pay your dandavats to them because they went through total hell. Really, it was like a hurricane. First it was a hurricane, then it was an earthquake, then it was a tsunami. It was in America, like, there was a time when there was like a hurricane. It was like devastated a place. And like a month later, another one came. You know, it was like that. It was just like, it was so difficult. We went through so, you know, just crazy stuff. We were so young, and we were telling all the devotees, well, Prabhupada chose 11 people, and they're all like Mahabhagavats. And that went to the head of some of them. And like, yeah, these 11 have been empowered by Prabhupada, and the rest of us are, you know, still as fallen as we were before Prabhupada left, like that. So it was really hard. But, you know, what I think about a lot, is how easy it is to become a devotee and how easy it is not to be a devotee, not to stay a devotee. Like, some little earthquake comes and okay, that's it, I'm finished. Some leader does something wrong, that's it, I'm finished. They're all bogus. You know, it's just like so easy, you know. Whatever, you know, you find some excuse to give up. But the people who stay year after year, decade after decade, they have some deep faith. Way beyond any institutional faith. It's not about institutional faith. It's faith in Guru and Krishna. And the philosophy, you know, that's they're established with that. And then tsunamis can come, whatever. There can be problems in the organization, like that's normal. But it doesn't disturb their faith in Guru and Krishna. So that's really what we need. Because if you don't have that, then you'll have all kinds of things you can rationalize away, like, because if you lack faith, you look for a good excuse to give up. Because you don't want to just give up, because that's weak, right? I need like a good, he did this, therefore, they said that, therefore I give up. I threw my bead bag away, that's it, because I heard this class and they said women are less intelligent, that's it. I said, forget, I'm going to become a Christian or something, whatever. So, your faith has to go way beyond, politics and all of that, into, the essence of the philosophy. Yes?
What advice do you have for when doubt comes and is really overwhelming?
Yeah, depends what the doubt is. Just global doubt. Yeah, well, I can tell you what I think.
Did you ever go through any periods at the start where it was hard?
I'm weird. I'm not a good example, because I'm not really made for the material world. So it's like when I read Bhagavad Gita, it's like I already know all this. It's just like I couldn't articulate it, but I know it, and I never doubted it, and maybe doubted myself sometimes, but that's different. But sometimes when somebody would doubt, Prabhupada would, say, well, like Vyasadeva, like compare yourself to Vyasadeva. Like, I'm in a doubt. It's like, did you ever doubt Albert Einstein? His theory of relativity. Was it Einstein? Theory of relativity. Did you ever doubt this theory? Did you ever doubt Newton's law of gravity? No, why? Because I'm a nobody. They've got double my IQ or whatever. Or my ability to understand cosmology or biology or physics is nothing. So it'd be stupid to doubt. Then you go like to Jiva Goswami, who is considered, it is often said he was considered the greatest philosopher. I don't know who considered that, but anyway, maybe at least amongst Indian philosophers. So now we have Jiva Goswami, who's commenting on everything. Of course, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana, and then you have Bhaktisiddhanta, who's, good luck if you can understand even, a portion of what he says. So I think if I have a doubt, then I go, well, look at them. Like, because the doubts are like, is this intellectually sound, isn't it? Does this make sense? And then you have these Maha Acharyas who are like, plus they're eternal associates of Krishna, that's another thing, so you just add it all up. It's like, and I'm doubting all that, like, it doesn't make sense, and then you have to look at it from the perspective of pride, because really it's coming from pride, like, well, I don't know about what Vyasadeva said, if he were here, I'd have a good talk with him, that's like, I don't think so. So, you have in Bhagavatam that the sun is traveling on a chariot. Like, right, sun's on a chariot, right, yeah. Was Vyasadeva on LSD when he wrote that, Or Sukadeva Goswami, was he saying that? Yeah. Of course not. And so, one devotee asked Prabhupada, what about this, like, chariot thing in the sun, He was asking him, like, and Prabhupada's like, what are you asking? She said, well, Prabhupada, that's hard to believe. And Prabhupada said, well, what do you know of the universe? Well, yesterday I read that they say, for every grain of sand on this planet, there's 10,000 stars in the universe. Just to give you an idea of the size of the universe. It's like, so here I am. There's a lot of sand out here on the beach. This beach is huge. It's like 300 meters or something. There's a lot of sand here, and each grain is 10,000 stars. It's inconceivable. So Prabhupada said, like from your vantage point, what do you know of the universe? not too much. So you're doubting that this and that. So Prabhupada was, he was kind of like, who are you little punk? You're like what, you know, it's like a kid, you know, 4-year-old doubting Einstein or something. It's like, yeah, right. It was like that's, I mean, he wasn't insulting like that, but that's kind of like, it's kind of like what he was trying to say in a polite way. Another thing, this is going to sound funny, and I don't recommend doing this, but if you lack faith in Krishna consciousness, you could just stop practicing it and see what happens. Because you'll start going, and then you go, oh, I guess it works. Because sometimes you know, is this working? It doesn't seem it's working. Is this medicine working? Doctor, it doesn't seem like it's working. Oh, well, stop it. And see, then you're vomiting and diarrhea, and oh, I guess it was working. But it was just normal, so you didn't notice. So, when I think like, how could I doubt it when I have so much experience of it working, like changing my life? You know, if you chant well, what happens? There's a certain effect. When you don't chant well, when you hear regularly, when you associate with advanced devotees, it all has an effect, right? It's like practical. So lack of faith could be intellectual also, but practically you have experience. Someone could say, oh, you're just imagining, but can you imagine you're detached? Can you imagine your way into detachment? I don't think so. Oh, you're chanting and you just believe you're going to be detached, and that's why you're detached. No. It's actually happening, right? Also, it's really important for faith to associate with advanced devotees, because then you can see Krishna consciousness working in their lives, right? I don't know if this works. Well, look at him. Worked on him. Maybe it's not working on me. Maybe I'm not applying it well, or whatever. Maybe I'm making offenses. Who knows? But it's working on him. As he's got something. Yes? So it's so important to be with more advanced devotees. It's also interesting, you know, for those of you who didn't know these very advanced devotees when they were like 20 years old, you know, we knew them. I mean, so we said, yeah, Krishna consciousness works. I knew him when he was 21, and, you know, challenged with all the problems that we all are challenged with. And now look at him, you know, it's like, he's got a real taste for the holy name, real taste for Krishna Katha, you know, he's very detached and so on. So we see it working. Is that all right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
The other thing I think is also, and I think this is a very important one, if I don't have faith in Krishna consciousness, where am I going to place my faith? Because Krishna says, Shraddha Maya, faith is going to be in one mode of nature or another. It's going to be in something. It's not like you're not going to have faith. Okay, I don't have faith in Krishna consciousness, so where are you going to do with your faith? Where are you going to put it in, you know? Your favorite podcaster? What are your options? You know? You have Guru and Krishna and Vyasadeva and Sukadev and, you know, all the acharyas, and or you have Joe Rogan. You know, it's like, you know, take your choice, right? I mean, really, isn't it? What does it boil down to? Who's your acharya? I don't know. I feel sometimes, for pure transcendental frustration and information's sake, I listen to people who pose themselves as gurus, because they're all over YouTube. And every time I hear them, I feel so sorry for the people who have faith in them. Because these guys are like, it's like learning guitar from someone who can hardly play, Rather learn from, Eric Clapton or something. So, anyway, I play guitar, so it's a guitar example. Well, I don't play much anymore, but it's like, it's very sad. And then you have our acharyas, and you listen to them, it's like, thank you. Thank you, Prabhupada, for coming and giving us this. So, what are your options? Now, you might say, well, there are other things that I need for my well-being. That's okay. You can go and get them. If you need them, that's fine. But that's not going to replace our Siddhanta. And another thing I would suggest is, whatever your inclination is, whether it's intellectual or artistic or musical or poetic or whatever it is, there's so much in Krishna consciousness that you can just extract, Like if you like to paint, there's like a lot of leelas you could be absorbed in painting. If you like poetry, wow. You've got like unlimited resources for poetry to absorb yourself in. Right? Isn't it? If you like to sing, there's like unlimited songs. So it's like there's such a depth of art and resources, and when you tap into it, it's like, wow. It's so much deeper than anything. So that helps. And just when you think you've hit the limit, there's a whole other layer underneath it. And it's like, wow. Anyway, that's how I think. But I'm just weird because I never really didn't have faith. I wouldn't know what to have faith in.
I was going to say, for me it's been a bit hard because I grew up Muslim, and for us it's completely the opposite. We can't really depict God or portray God.
Oh yeah,
it's,
right.
There's no personalism in it at all.
Yeah.
So for me this is completely different.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
That's the difficulty for me. It's, but I feel things here that I never felt there.
Well, we have light bulbs in here. Can you turn on that light for educational sake? He's going to turn on the light.
And God gave light.
There's light, right? So the light is all around, but it's coming from a spot, right? Can you get light without the bulb? No, of course not. So the bulb is the personal form of God. The light is the energy. Yeah, I was told the Quran talks about a form of God, that it's there. I was told by many people. Like we say, your mother has a form, her mother has a form, her mother had a form. Who didn't? Who didn't have it? Like we say, if we say, God said, or if we look at nature and say it's God's intelligence, or God said, let there be light. We're personalizing God. He has intelligence, he said. God sees everywhere, he knows everything. We're personalizing, right? Isn't it? We're personalizing and saying he's impersonal. It's a paradox. But how can you develop love with an energy? That's another question. So in this world we have personal relationships. In the spiritual world it's impersonal. doesn't work like that.
For us, it was a lot about fear.
Yeah.
Fearing this unknown entity.
Yeah, coercion through fear. For us, it's about falling in love with the most beautiful. And sweet balls as well. That helps. Prasadam. So, let me explain it a little bit. Krishna creates the material world in a way that if you're intelligent, it will push you towards him, just because, yeah, we have experience of that. It pushes us because of the problems in it, right? And when you get pushed to God, and you develop an attraction for him, you will be pulled by the attraction, and you won't need to be pushed anymore. Like it doesn't. But until that attraction's there, then the only thing that's going to get you to God is the pushing. Because if you could run away from him and be happy, you would. I mean, we all would, not you. All of us would, right? I mean, why are we here? Because things aren't perfect. If they were, right? I was in South Africa in 1981. It was so nice there. You couldn't make a white person a devotee for, you know, if you gave him $1 million. It's like, that was like Brahmaloka. Like, that was like heavenly planets there. And occasionally, one white person would slip through the cracks. But they wouldn't stay. They couldn't. It was like their life was like, it was too good. Because there was apartheid, the white people, you know. The black people would serve them. $5 a day, you do whatever you want. So, it's different there now. And there's all kinds of white people becoming devotees. So when things are so good, it's like what's going to push me to God? All right, fear, that's a good one. You're going to go to hell. All right, I don't want to go. You want to go to hell? No, okay, serve God. Christians are really good at that, right? You're going to go to hell forever, burn forever. You have two choices, burn forever in hell or go to heaven. It's an easy choice, right? Yeah? Easy choice. So it's fear-based. So, Krishna, the whole thing with Krishna is he's all attractive. So we come to him because of suffering, but he allures us because of his attractiveness, his beauty, and the love and the affection. And the love and affection we have for our Guru really pulls us more than anything in the beginning, right? Krishna is so kind and intelligent. He gives us a Guru to serve. You can love your Guru like so easily. Even you like never loved anyone in your life. You know, here's this Guru who just loves you, wants to help you. It's like, it's so easy to love him. So that's personal, right? Isn't it? So we're being pulled. So even though we don't need so much of that, oh, the world's so bad, it's so frustrating, because now we have this love that's pulling us. Love is personal. Isn't it? We're going to marry, we've just found someone to marry you, and he's outside now. You see the sun? That you can marry the sunshine. Yeah. And you think, no, I don't want to marry the sunshine. I need someone I can talk to. Oh, you can talk to God. Yeah, you can pray to God. He has ears. Again, personal. He's personal, right? He can hear you. Personal. He can reciprocate with your prayers. Personal. So it's, anyway, not logical, is it? Now, if you treat Krishna as a person, he'll reveal himself as a person. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Krishna says, I reciprocate with you. He reciprocates with your faith, and he reciprocates with your lack of faith. That's the problem. You don't believe in me? Okay, I'll hide from you. That's how I reciprocate. Exactly. You know, that's the danger. But if you put your faith, even theoretically, then you allow him to reciprocate with your faith. So that's the problem. It's like the lack of faith magnifies because he'll reciprocate with it. But the faith magnifies, even if it's theoretical. Like, let me test it. You know? Krishna says this, Krishna says that. Okay, let me have faith in it this week. Let's see what happens.
Can I elaborate on this topic?
Yeah.
My daughter, she asked, like, when we go to Vrindavan, she says, is Krishna there? Yeah, Krishna is there. Can I really see him? Because I want to see him.
Yeah.
How would you answer that question?
Well,
Maybe because it's she wants to see the person that we're talking about.
Yeah.
We say that he's alive.
Yeah.
So, and he's in Vrindavan forever. So where can I see him?
Well, I can give you an answer Prabhupada gave. I don't know if she'll accept it, but there was a book and it had a picture of Vishnu on the cover. It's actually Paramatma, as I remember. And it was just published and it was just given to Prabhupada. For those of you who didn't hear, she's saying, you know, her daughter wants to, when she goes to Vrindavan, she wants to see Krishna, so like, where do I show him? So Prabhupada had this book on his desk, I guess, and a man was in his room and said, can you see Krishna? And Prabhupada said, yes, you can see him also on the cover of my new book. And he showed the book. He said, that's Krishna, you can see him. So, what's the idea? Krishna walking in, or Krishna on the book, or in the deity, or in the Bhagavatam, or in the holy name? It's the same Krishna. Because we live in a world of duality, we see different, but that's Krishna. So when Mahaprabhu went to Puri, he saw Jagannath and he fainted. Because he saw Krishna. You can tell her that story. When Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannath, he saw Shyam Sundar, because his vision is pure. So that is Krishna on the altar. And if you see him with love, through the eyes of love, you'll see him there and he'll speak to you. Right? Yeah. Krishna consciousness is so interesting because you can be with Krishna but not be with him. If you're in the wrong consciousness. You can be with the holy name and you're not with it. You can be with the deity and you're not with it. You're not experiencing it. Right? Some devotees say, I don't like chanting japa. It's impossible not to like chanting japa. You're chanting something other than japa. You're not chanting Hare Krishna. That's why you don't like it. It's not Krishna. You can't be bored with Krishna. It's not possible. When you're actually chanting properly, it's hard to stop. Isn't it? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, so sweet, so sweet. That's Krishna.
It's actually sweeter when you are in Vrindavan or in Govardhan.
Of course. 1,000 times. But you can make it like that here. It just takes more work.
Yes. Yes.
But if you're going to chant, or you're going to see the deity, then why see something that's just stone? Or why chant and just hear a sound? Because then there's no taste. I mean, that's a little extreme, but I sometimes like to be extreme to make a point. Like, I have no taste for chanting Hare Krishna. No, it's not possible. If you're actually chanting Hare Krishna, impossible not to have taste. You must not be chanting Hare Krishna. You must be chanting something else. No, I'm chanting Hare. No, you're not. You couldn't be. It just sounds like it. That's not. You're not realizing that's Krishna. Which kind of answers your question also. You know, when you get purified, you realize Krishna's there. Then there's no faith problem because you're with him, experiencing him. Here's a problem. Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, said, if we don't chant properly, we won't have faith because we won't realize Krishna's there because we're not doing it properly. Does that make sense? That's dangerous. Like, I have no realization. Well, yeah, because you're not contacting Krishna. So then I lose faith in chanting because I'm not really chanting. So then, or I'm not really seeing Krishna. So then I lose faith. Vice versa, if I do it properly, faith increases because I'm having a realization. So it's so dangerous to not do things properly because it undermines your faith, because then there's no realization. Prabhuji, what's your realization today? My realization is I don't have any. That's my big realization for today. So that means some aparad or something's not pure. But when it's pure, you have all... Like if you ever chant really good rounds and you have like fill up notebooks of realizations, you have to buy 10 notebooks to fill your realizations. And other days, what's your realization? Nothing. That means you weren't chanting Krishna, because you were chanting nothing. It just sounded like Krishna, and so you have no realization, right? I have no realization. That's my big realization for today. Yeah. You know, sometimes when I give a class, not sometimes, often, I don't study. I just chant. I try to chant really good rounds. Those are the best classes. Because there's so much realization coming from it that I couldn't get just from studying. I'm just like, wow. And I chanted some really good rounds, and I gave a class a few months ago. And I can guarantee you, I could not give that class again. That was simply a result of the mercy of the Holy Name. It was at the Bhakti Center. I think it was a good class. It was at the Bhakti Center in May. So you can look it up. I think it was a good class. I was just like very absorbed in japa. So, you know, like Satchidananda Swami says, the living name. Well, what does that mean? There could be a dead name also. The living deity, the living Bhagavatam, the living Sangha. Everything, is it alive or dead? Right? Yes?
I
Yeah.
also feel that I don't know if it's the experience of everyone, that in the beginning everything is easier and you start meeting devotees and practicing, and you have more realizations. I don't know what happened for me.
Yeah.
And I could understand better the scriptures and everything, and the japa was amazing, and it sometimes
Special mercy.
Yeah, sometimes gets hard, or it comes in waves and in phases, and then you have to keep the faith and you walk. And maybe it's Krishna challenging me.
Yeah, it could be many things. Could be many things. Mercy, she's saying sometimes in the beginning it's easier. Krishna could be giving you mercy in the beginning. But this is the way I see it. If you want Krishna in this life, none of those will be problems. There are problems, but there won't be problems. Right? Do you ever really wanted something? Like really bad? Like when we were kids, we want that ice cream. You want it so bad, it doesn't matter what's in the way. You're going to get it out of the way. It's not really a problem, right? So I think that's so important, because when I look at my life, I see like there's so many obstacles, but I don't see them as obstacles, because I just want Krishna. So I don't really notice them. It's like, oh yeah, they're obstacles, but I'm not looking at the obstacles, I'm looking at the goal. So you don't want to focus your, oh, this is difficult, oh, it's bad, how can I, it's like, I'm not going to allow that to bother me, because I want to chant purely. So those bad days are just, they're pebbles in my shoe. Take the pebble out and keep walking. It has to be that way, otherwise it's hard to sustain. It's easy to run fast for a while, but I have so many God brothers who joined Krishna consciousness when I did. They're still here. They're like this. There's nothing that's going to sway them from their goal, because they want Krishna, and they've always wanted it since the day they joined. And so many things have come, Get married, get divorced, your wife runs off with your best friend, takes your business, you go bankrupt. It's just like, welcome to the material world, everyone. This is like, normal. And they keep going. They never give up bhakti. They just keep going, going, going. The storms hit, right? And it has to be like that. So what you say may be true for different reasons. But if you want Krishna consciousness, it's just like whatever. Sometimes we have a critical thought in our mind, and then that affects us, and our japa the next day is horrible. Right? I once went to a restaurant, it was a devotee restaurant, and after we took prasadam, my mind was really like, just like, who put LSD in my brain? I wasn't hallucinating or anything, but it was like altered. And I told my wife, I said, this is like, she said, oh yeah, those are hired cooks, they're not devotees. They were hired cooks, they weren't devotees. So, things like that happen. But what do I do? All right, that's it. Throw my beads away, I give up. No. Whatever it is, the waves are coming and the boat's going through, right? I have to achieve my goal. And that's what Prabhupada wanted from us. He wanted us to be like that. And, Rita, then you can see all those things as, oh, Krishna's just like checking me out. Like he made it difficult. So it's like, okay, Rita, what are you going to do now? Roll over dead, and give up? Or you're going to just get up and keep going? And when you go during those difficult times, that's when you get bonus points. Those are all opportunities. Yeah, they are. We shouldn't run away from difficulties because they're opportunities for bonus points. Because it's during those times we want to give up. And you go stronger, you get Krishna's like, yeah, my man, my girl, she did it. Yeah, that's the way I see it. Krishna, I'm not going to cave in now, even though I feel like it, because my relation with you is too important to cave in. Like that. If being steady is the key, what's the key to being steady? The key to being steady is being steady. No, the key to being steady is what I said, is that I want Krishna. If you want Krishna more than anything, there's nothing that's going to stop you. And if you want Maya more than Krishna, then, yeah. Maya knows that, and she'll allure you away. Maya knows your weakness, right? Yes? Here. You want this, don't you? And then when she dangles that, you say, Krishna, this is my opportunity to show you that I want you more than Maya. I'm not gonna be tempted by this. I want to show you my devotion. That's beautiful. Maya, come, dangle some more. It gives me more chance to show Krishna. I love him.
They say that the devotees, and I've read that the Krishna book also, that sometimes Krishna make it on purpose more difficult for you, right?
He could challenge you sometimes.
Does he do that because he thinks that you are capable with the path that you're on, with your stability and everything? Like, stability is key.
Maybe he wants to see. There could be different reasons.
There's no straight line, right?
No, because sometimes the difficulty is not made by Krishna, it's made by us.
Yeah, exactly.
Krishna's making it so difficult. Oh, Prabhu, when was the last time you chanted your rounds? Oh, 4 years ago. Oh, Krishna's making it difficult for you? You're not making it difficult for yourself. So we need to look at that also.
Yeah.
So, difficulties may come for different reasons, but Krishna could make it difficult. Prabhupada said that, to test you. You know that lecture Prabhupada said? He wants to test you. If you come to serve me or come to disturb me. Like, why are you here? So he could do that. But I think often the problem is devotees will blame it either on Krishna's testing me or Maya is strong. Well, it's actually themselves that's creating the problem. Yeah. By making offenses or my sadhana is slack or whatever, my mood is wrong and then I'm saying, oh, Maya is so strong or Krishna's testing me. No. Not exactly. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because often I hear devotees say like, it's Krishna, it's not me. I find it a little bit easy to say like that.
I was just minding my own business, chanting my rounds, and Krishna decided to send Maya, and that could be, but it's not like really, it's not like
not my wife, but yeah, it's Krishna.
Yeah.
It's all Krishna plan.
Krishna sent my own girlfriend. It could be. It could be Maya also. It could be anything, but it's the same answer. It's all opportunity. Krishna, I will show you that I want you. I won't give in. Right?
So what's the reverse of that? How do you always distinguish what is Krishna's desire? Or what is best? What pleases Krishna the most, or what is best for our Krishna consciousness? What is the parameter, or what is the measuring?
Whatever brings you, whatever will satisfy Guru and Krishna. And we should know what satisfies them, right? The whole problem is we always think about ourselves. What does my Guru want from me? What does Prabhupada want in this situation? That's pretty simple.
I think it's actually quite difficult because I always think about myself, and it's my problem, because also the whole world that we're living in is so conditioned that, everybody, my friends, everybody taught me to think about myself, and now everybody is talking about you have to think about yourself. Well, in Krishna consciousness, we unlearn this habit of always thinking about what is pleasing me instead of what is pleasing you.
But that's
something that is
helping
me actually to consciously stop
doing
that.
But that's the definition of love.
Yes.
But there's no way around it. That's why we have Guru. You can think about pleasing Guru. We maintain ourselves so we can please Guru. So we think about ourselves so we can be better servants. So we give ourselves what we need to be better servants.
And that aligns with your faith.
Yeah. I think maybe it's simpler than we think. Just please Guru and Krishna. Simple, right? Oh, but it's not easy. No, and Prabhupada would say, no, it is easy. What's not easy about it? Right? I always find that the worst thing I can do is to think something's difficult, because then I psych myself out. If you ever think it's difficult, always try to figure out how it's simple. It's just so valuable to be able to do that. Like, I think this is hard. No. Let me think how it's simple. Find some common denominator. No. It's, like I said, just please Guru and Krishna. Oh yeah, okay. That's pretty simple. Of course, you could complicate it, but, I'm so contaminated. No, but try to, simplify it. So then you can see, this is easy to do. Make it easy for yourself by seeing an easy way to do it.
Especially today's days, we hear a lot. People saying, well, I'm not able to do that unless I feel okay with myself. Then I can think about other things. You hear that all over, all kinds of people say, I first have to feel good myself, I have to feel balanced, I have whatever, I have to feel placed, I have to feel
properly situated. Whatever. Yeah, okay. But even if we take that argument, then we would say, okay, for the service of Guru and Krishna, properly situate yourself so you can please them. So you'll do that so you can please them. If that's what you have to do, then do it. But your goal is to please them. Then you're good.
So then it's correct, right? So first I have to take care of myself, then I can serve, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Some people can they'll just give to the Guru, but the Guru's giving so much back, and so you're taking what he's giving, so you're nourishing yourself and giving it back. It's reciprocal. Right? I mean, what you're saying is true in certain situations, but maybe in other situations they're just complicating things. Could be. Could be either.
For example, a mother never think of a child, when he's nursing a child or bringing up a child, never thinks of themselves.
Yeah.
They just think of the welfare of the child.
Yeah.
But I think that's even getting disturbed a little bit these days.
Yes.
Of course, you have to eat. You have to eat. You do think of yourself, but but the main thing is the child, and you're taking care of yourself so you can serve your child. Yeah. I mean, self-care is necessary, but it's in the context of so I can better serve. Class is over. We have a million comments and questions here.
They will all be answered with kirtan.
Yeah. We're going to have kirtan now for all of those who are still here. Can I make you dizzy just by playing this? Yeah? Yes? A little bit?
Sounds a bit frightening.
What sound can do? Did you hear this story about this man was in a coma, and he played the voice of a cartoon character called Bugs Bunny. I don't know if you know Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? And the man who played that was in a coma. And nobody could get him out of the coma. And the doctor came in, and he walked in, and he said, "What's up, Doc?" And the guy woke up, and he started saying. He started doing the voice. That sound woke him up. Sound is powerful. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Gauranga Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Puranga. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Gauranga Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Jai Ho Prabhu Para, Prabhu Para, Prabhu Para, Jai Prabhu Para. Gaura Hariva, 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 Gaura Hariva. Jai Go Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki. Hare Krishna.